Somewhere in the Outer Rim, you wake up in a cramped rented room above a loud cantina. The mattress is paper thin, the air reeks of cheap fuel and stale liquor, and the first thought you have is the same one you get every morning. Another long day of work, with no guarantee it's even gonna cover your fuel bill. In holovids and posters, bounty hunters look like legends. They stride into a room in full armor, collect a huge reward after an epic gunfight, and vanish into hyperspace richer than before. The truth, however, looks nothing like that. Most bounty hunters aren't icons like Boba Fett or Cad Bane. The majority are just freelancers scraping together enough credits to stay alive in a galaxy that barely notices their existence. The first problem starts before you even get out of bed. The galaxy is simply too big for this job to make sense for most people. There are millions of inhabited worlds, countless star systems, and a population exceeding the trillions. Trying to track down just a single person, ship, or even group across that kind of scale is almost impossible. Even when a client posts a bounty, the information is patchy at best. Sometimes all you get is a name, a rough description, and some rumor about where the target might have been spotted days or even weeks earlier. Especially during certain eras of the Star Wars timeline, reliable identification systems are weak, inconsistent, or just non-existent, which makes it very easy for someone to vanish overnight just by changing their name and moving off-world. Your target could leave Coruscant on a transport and be working a factory job on some forgotten Outer Rim planet the very next day. For you, that could mean weeks or months of searching with no promise of ever getting paid. Before we see more of the average bounty hunter's life, if you want a lightsaber that feels like it came straight out of the movies, you need to check out Sabers Pro. Their hilts look like proper on-screen replicas, their blades are super bright and built solid enough for dueling. They also carry specialty replicas that get so close to the real thing they look like they were just stolen from the movie sets. Click the link in the description and use the referral code Luke's Temple at checkout to save yourself some money and support the channel in the process. With that out of the way, let's get back to the video. Near your crummy apartment, you check the bounty board. As usual, the good contracts are already gone. Experienced hunters grab them first, the ones with better ships, stronger reputations, and the right connections. All that are left for you are the scraps. A smuggler who dodged a small-time debt, a local thief hiding somewhere in the lower levels, a fugitive who may or may not be on a nearby world. The rewards look decent at first, 10,000 credits here, 20,000 there, but once you factor in travel costs, ammunition, repairs, docking fees, and bribes for information, the payout drops fast. A job worth 10k on paper might leave only a couple thousand by the end of the contract, and sometimes even less. That brings us to the next problem with this profession: competition. Bounty hunting is one of the few jobs in the galaxy that has almost no real barrier to entry. Anyone with a ship, blaster, and enough nerve can decide that they are now a bounty hunter. This means the same target you're going after might attract dozens of other people at once, like we saw in The Mandalorian. You're racing against everyone else, trying to find the mark before somebody beats you to it, all the while going off of approximate, poor information. If another bounty hunter brings the target in first, every hour, day, week, or month you spent chasing down leads becomes worthless. Weeks of effort can disappear in a matter of seconds because somebody else just happened to get there first. Even when you do eventually find the target, it doesn't usually play out the people imagine. Most bounties aren't stylish duels with infamous criminals. A lot of them are just desperate people, and maybe they're trapped, armed, willing to do anything to get out. So you have to bring them in cold. A simple arrest can turn into a blaster fight in a crowded street or a cramped hallway. Death is a real risk here, and the overwhelming majority of regular bounty hunters aren't going to come out of multiple dramatic gunfights alive. But even if you do survive, you could still lose. Cashing in the bounty could mean taking injuries, wrecking your expensive gear, or frying part of your ship that costs thousands to replace. Every single contract, no matter how small, carries the risk of walking away with nothing but burns, a medical bill, or death itself. Then we have the social side of this unique profession, or more accurately, the complete absence of one. Bounty hunters don't trust each other because they simply can't. Every other hunter is a competitor who might steal your contract, ruin your job, or even sell information to the target for a better offer. Any alliance you may forge is temporary, and any partnership you seal is fragile. The person who helps you today might be the same one selling you out or gunning you down tomorrow. It's a profession where money talks and loyalty is non-existent. That kind of pressure leaves most bounty hunters feeling incredibly isolated and depressed, drifting from world to world, drowning themselves with liquor, without much chance to build any kind of life that lasts long term. Working for criminal organizations might sound like a better route, but in reality, it's not that helpful. Crime syndicates hire bounty hunters for dangerous work all the time, so you'll get consistent jobs, but they almost never give you loyalty in return. If you fail or fumble a job, the employer could withhold your payment, threaten you, or put a bounty on you in return. Crime lords don't see bounty hunters as valuable assets. They see them as useless, expendable tools. If one dies on the job, there's always 100 other desperate guns for hire ready to step in. Working with governments or major institutions isn't that safe either. Some bounty hunters do operate with official licenses and cooperate with local authorities. On paper, that sounds more secure, but in practice, it often means taking the worst, lowest-paying assignments, going after political fugitives, heavily armed smugglers, or criminals backed by powerful allies. Some of those jobs will pay well, and you could build up a reputation, but they're going to get you some of the most dangerous enemies in the galaxy, and it isn't too easy to take out a gang of armed smugglers when you're standing there alone, with nobody you can trust by your side. And through all that drama, you still have to stay afloat. Some weeks bring no decent contracts at all. Some months are nothing but bad leads and dead ends. And yet, despite that, the bills keep coming. The economy doesn't stop just because you are stressed. You still have docking fees that need to be paid, you still have to go out to buy fuel, your ship still needs maintenance, especially if you're taking regular trips. The fantasy of bounty hunting that many people have skips over the basic reality that most bounty hunters live contract to contract, hoping the next one finally pays enough to steady their lives. And that's exactly why the legendary bounty hunters we know and love stand out. People like Boba Fett, Dengar, or Cad Bane became well known specifically because they made it in a profession where most people wash out or get killed. They built reputations strong and long-lasting enough for clients to trust them with high-value targets and massive rewards. Alongside that, of course, being a great deal of risk. But for every bounty hunter who reaches that level of fame, there are thousands who never come close. They simply drift across the galaxy, chasing down small contracts, barely holding things together and dreaming of a better life. So, what do you think about this whole situation? Do you think you have what it takes to enter the big leagues? Or, like most bounty hunters, would you die in your first few jobs? Let us know in the comments down below, subscribe for more awesome Star Wars content, leave a like on the video if you enjoyed it, and don't forget to check out Sabers Pro if you want an authentic looking and high quality lightsaber. Use the code Luke's Temple at checkout to save yourself some money and support the channel in the process. Thank you ever so much for watching, and as always, may the Force be with you.